Harry, Marvel Handbook, issue 4 of the update from 1989. We got Iron Man on the cover. We have the full thing here. Not that bad, this one. I might be tricked by the two pretty women wearing green. Here is our contents page with credits. This is the tail end of the letter H through to the letter M. The original Human Fire, he gets an update because he has been through some big changes since the deluxe edition. He came back to life, he joined the Avengers, and his origin, or rather his connection to the Vision, had been retconned. Ultimately useless, because Kurt Busey retcons that retcon to retcon the original retcon that the Vision was the original Human Fire. Superman. A lot of Marky Mark's Justice League characters get full profiles this time around, properly reflecting things from their miniseries. And one could view it as indulgent, were it not for the fact that Marky Mark was not very involved with this series. What we have here is Peter Sanford and Son. He is the driving force behind this update miniseries. He was the chief researcher for both the original series and the deluxe edition. And I have a lot of gripes with this update series, but I think in another context, him taking over is fine. A profile like this is a good example of what this series was actually useful for. A new character called Infectious, created by Lewis Simons and Simon Waltonson in Extra Factors. She is very pretty, and best of all, she is kinda moon dragony with Snowman. I reckon me and Simon Waltonson share kink. Iron Fist. This is a character they forgot to give a profile in the deluxe edition. Part of the reason I am covering this issue is to show this. My theory is that they meant to move him to the Book of the Dead in the deluxe edition, and so they removed his profile from the running order, but forgot to insert it at the back end with all the dead characters. Nevertheless, he is still dead at this point. If you're wanting to tally them at home, this is another character in the 89 updates that could slot into the 89 updates Book of the Dead, which actually only contains a single character, even though there are several profiles that belong in there. I think these are new art pieces. I'm not the biggest fan of Iron Fist, but I feel like at least the Saberclaw one is new. Iron Man, which is always a good time to complain. The update is flawed because, realistically, every major character is going to have enough to warrant an update. So instead, you have to narrow it down or focus on cosmetic shit like Iron Man. He has a new armour, so he gets a new profile. Iron Man will always be getting new armours though. It's not worth an update in my opinion. A character like Miss McDonald's can join Fantastic Force. She can be transformed into a rock monster and undergo horrific character arcs, and she is somehow in less need of an update than Iron Man with a new armour that looks a bit like his old armour, but it is just a bit different. 4 pages for the cunt. We don't need it. Death to Iron Man. That's my motto. Overrated drunk has been. Kathy Day has the right idea. Here is one that I know nothing about. Apparently an Alpha Strike bad guy. I don't know if it is Bill Bungalow or the guy I fucking don't even want to talk about. Disgusting human. Not Bill Bungalow, the writer who came after him. Horrendous person. He's dead now. No tears were wept from comic book readers, unless you liked really bad, deluded nutjobs with one leg who still stop at nothing to bully the artists of stories from 30 years ago. That could sound like I'm describing myself, but no, I have both my legs. Alfred the Butler. Much bigger version of this profile was available in Avengers issue 300. That's all I have to say. Gabriel Byrne from SHIELD. Always thought that name would belong better with a man of colour. Much cooler name when it isn't in the hands of an old white guy. Julie Lee. This design, original costume, was a makeshift composite of the then excellent men's costumes. We have Storm's leather jacket, we have Taylor Swift's shirt, we have Rouge's boots, we have Tom Petty's belt and purse. Colour chameleon. I hope your colours all ring true. Colour chameleon. Don't really know the song. I prefer I'll Tumble For Ya, but the 4 is the number 4. I prefer that song. It goes, I'll tumble for ya, I'll tumble for ya, I'll tumble for ya. Actually, I don't really know that one either. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? I actually share a birthday with Boy George and Donald Trump. Oh, that reminds me of a joke my nemesis does. Kind of giving away the punchline already, but it goes, recently I took a horticulture class. That's right, she didn't like opera. The setup is horticulture class, like flowers and that, but the payoff is he took a prostitute to culture class. And at culture class, they teach opera, which is culture, but she didn't like opera. I took a whore to culture class. That's right, she didn't like opera. One of his better jokes, in my opinion. Some really shit characters in this.
I like to try new things. Last week, I took a horticulture class, but she didn't like opera. I'll explain that one later at the door, okay? Come and see us. I finally got round to watching The Exorcist. Had to change my underpants twice.
This is, I nearly said a Peter Gilbert character, but Camus goes back to the Silver Age. He was only unlucky in being co-opted by Peter Gilbert. Really nice art here. Never read anything with the character, and cannot be bothered to think up a new name for him. But he even has a band of brothers. The only thing I really know about him is that one of his bad guys is in Starburst. Actually, I might have one lying around. Yeah, I do. I have issue 56. I had a couple of issues of Kazar lying out. Wanted to rebag and board them. I don't know if he's in this one, but let's see. There, that yellow guy with a star on his face. He is called Scar, and he comes from these stories. Rubik, the sentient cosmic cube. And actually, his profile is more the history of the cosmic cube than it is about his time as Rubik, which has been relatively short comparatively to everything detailed. Again, I think we maybe have some new art for it here. Welcome to the land of cultural appropriation. Iron Fist's Fairyland. Artie, what a cute little bunny. Elizabeth Banks. Betty Banks. Close enough to her real name. Left winger. One of my favourite little things is that left winger and his partner, right winger, they are not what they say they are. Left winger, not remotely left wing. He's not all about leftist values. He is just a bloke that put on a costume with another bloke and then named themselves left winger and right winger. I think if you have a duo called left winger and right winger, the fun should be one of them is a massive bigot and the other is right wing. Little bit of political satire there.
I found Princess of Wales' to-do list from when she was single. It just read, Charles and Di. Too soon? Too soon? Fair enough. Okay then. Never mind. Tell your aunties that, they'll hate you. They'll hate you for that one. Do you mind if I read you a poem?
King Lear. Oh, tough crowd. You're booing Shakespeare. Fascinating thing. We only get one of the Lobo brothers. Really weird that. They could have combined them into one profile even. But we just get one of them. And the other brother would go in the Book of the Dead. Oh dear, somebody has been discharged from the hospital a bit too soon, haven't they? Oh fucker. I thought the Living Mummy was the profile where I would have sod all to offer in terms of comment. Actually no, I think I thought of something, right? I want to convince the world that there was a Simpsons episode that exists called Marge versus the Male. Don't know anything about what would be in the episode, just the title. Marge versus the Male. Tell people it's your favourite episode of The Simpsons. Marge versus the Male. Bart gets an abortion is another one I want to gaslight people into thinking exists. One of the reasons I wanted to look at this was I convinced myself that Bo and Myra didn't get a profile, but she does, right here. Cameo by Squealy in the secondary art. Don't get your hopes up, boys. This isn't the real Madame Hydras. I would still let her do stuff to me. This is apparently Madame Hydra's level 6. Means nout to me. There's only one Madame Hydra's in my heart, and it isn't the one with a scimitar. I actually had a dream about Madame Hydra's last night. It was good. Not worth sharing. It was neither interesting or sexual. We were just sitting beside each other, doing some cuddling. That was all.
I came on my girlfriend's face whilst reading J.D. Salinger. Catch her in the eye? No, she was wearing her glasses.
Hey, you see that new movie, Madam Web, huh? What's the deal with that Madam Web? Do chicks really do that? It's Leech. Little baby Leech. Glad we got him in the same volume as Artie. What a pair of cuties. Look at them in that picture there. You can't help but love them. They're a fucking pair. I'm not even being silly. I think they are quite honestly one of the most adorable things in comics. I only want nice things to happen to them. Blackpool. An entry for Blackpool and its notable residents. Some interesting heads here. That's the most I can say. Blackpool, Blackpool, Blackpool is the place to be. Went to Blackpool, first thing I did, went straight to Chippy. Yeah, it's time to talk about that, yeah. There used to be a video online, King Gong in Manchester. It uploaded videos of people doing the gong show. It was a treasure trove of bad people doing bad comedy and getting gonged off. The greatest video to ever exist was the King Gong video of someone called Dino Bean. Unfortunately, they removed all the videos. My greatest regret in life is not saving a copy of Dino Bean. It was the most amazing thing ever. This quite camp-looking young guy with his trousers practically hanging down. He goes up and he goes, "All right, fellas. Hello, ladies." And that is accompanied by a hip thrust. And then someone in the audience shouts out, "Pull your pants up!" And Dino Bean begins his routine. It's brilliant. Biscuit tins, biscuit tins. What's the need for biscuit tins? I love me biscuits, but biscuits come in a fucking packet. Why the fuck do we put them in tins? They're not trying to run off. Now, what made him slip up a bit there is, barely audibly in the video, you hear someone in the audience shout out, "For freshness!" But that is it. That is his iconic routine. That is the only joke he gets to do. He starts doing Blackpool, Blackpool, Blackpool. Blackpool is the place to be. Went to Blackpool, went straight to Chippy. And then he gets gonged off. We don't hear where that was going. It's the fucking best video ever. Oh God, I forgot the intro. The MC, I think it was Mick Ferry, he brings him on stage and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Dino Bean." "Hello, the name's Dean the Bean." "Dino Bean." "That's right, Dean the Bean." Here we have Mason Alpha. Actually said Mason Alpha, but it sounds a bit funnier if you treat the word alpha like it is of French origin too. Merkin. That's his name. Merkin. If you know what I mean. A pubic wig. Merkin. I'm so naughty, me. Dino Bean, huge comedy influence on me. That was the Handbook there. Anyone want to suggest a name for Killraven? Sabre. Wasn't that the blatant rehash of it they did for Epic or Eclipse? Sabre. I think he had a moustache. It's all just a rip-off of John Carter anyway. Everything. All these characters. Iron Man. Hume on Fire. Infectious. All just a rip-off of John Carter. All of it. Always was. 7. Oh, there was 7 novels. 7 John Carter novels. 7 of them up.